Masha Korpacheva is a California-based realtor and a member of the National Association of Realtors in Los Angeles. She's an advocate for selling and buying homes with soul and practicing mindfulness in real estate. With master's degrees in spiritual psychology and linguistics, Masha brings all of her skills to work with her clients. An intuit and empath, she has touched many lives with her outstanding ability to see beyond the visible and helping to come to better understanding of issues and their resolutions. An adventurous world traveler, from climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania to exploring the Galapagos Islands, Masha has a particular passion for the City of Angels. Having landed in this paradise and adopted it as her home, she's been sharing old Hollywood stories since 2007. This podcast is an invitation to feel and experience the souls of famous old Hollywood homes and to have an in-depth journey to the areas where they're located through interviews with longtime residents. Either you're a fan of old Hollywood in Los Angeles, planning to have a vacation, or, an even bigger step, considering a certain area for your future home. This is your opportunity to receive valuable information and insightful advice you won't find anywhere else. In the mood for California, feel the soul of old Hollywood.
Hello, and welcome to my podcast. Are you in the mood for California? Today, we are exploring and feeling Falcon Lair, the former estate of Rudolph Valentino and Doris Duke. After that, we are going to meet with Draza Jansky, a life coach and meditation teacher based in Los Angeles. Like many past residents of Falcon Lair, she has a strong background in the arts and found the property to be a very inspiring place to create. And now, are you ready to feel the spirit of Falcon Lair? So how do you talk about a house that doesn't exist anymore? Well, you don't, unless it's Falcon Lair. This mysterious estate is a true place of retreat, high in the hills, overlooking the city below. Privacy, peace, and seclusion are the best companions of a romantic heart that is trying to assert its own identity. This land is deeply spiritual, and it evokes the feelings within you that you were not even aware of. In some miraculous way, in the quietude of the serene surroundings, the faith in the unity of all beings is restored, and the long-forgotten realization of belonging to something greater is reestablished in your consciousness. The star of silver screen, Rudolph Valentino, was shy and spoke with a delicious Italian accent, having left his native land at the age of 18. He grew up in Castellaneta, in the Apulia region of southern Italy. No wonder that when he came across this magical property that he named Falcon Lair, in some way it must have reminded him of his birthplace, as Castellaneta is famous for being surrounded with deep ravines. There you go! There is a piece of Italy right in the middle of Beverly Hills. Valentino purchased the estate from its original owner, a Beverly Hills realtor, George Reed. It used to be an 11-bedroom Spanish-style villa with a red tile roof, stucco walls, wood-beamed ceilings, travertine and hardwood floors, and grand fireplaces. It had been built in 1923 on then an 8-acre lot above Benedict Canyon, and it was just the right size to accommodate stables for horses, kennels for many dogs, a multi-car garage, and servants' quarters. Back in 1925, it cost $175,000, which is roughly $3 million in today's money. Rudolph Valentino turned the home into a man cave where he would hide among his antiques, historical armor, and swords, rare books, and his beloved dogs. Last time, the property was sold in March 2021 for $15 million, with approved plans for a 30-plus thousand square foot modern Mediterranean home. As you walk through the exquisite landscaping, following the windy paths, and admiring a variety of trees, olive, lemon, pomegranate, and avocado, you find yourself on an extensive terrace with most picturesque views. Being there makes you feel as if you're invincible and the whole world belongs to you. This is probably exactly how falcons feel when they rest on tall perches after spending their days hunting. These solitary birds are known for extraordinary speed, vision, and physical ability, besides being wildly intelligent. Valentino's spirit must have been very similar to that of a falcon, and while his extraordinary but very short flight lasted for only 31 years, his favorite perch on a magnificent hill continues to welcome the sun every morning, and we can almost hear his deep and somewhat husky voice.
Don't pull down the blinds. I feel fine. I want the sunlight to greet me.
And here we are. Welcome to Falcon Lair. Draza Jansky is my wonderful guest today. She's a life coach and meditation teacher based in Los Angeles. On top of it, she's a past resident of Falcon Lair, so you can imagine how special our conversation will be. Hello, Draza.
Hey, Masha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about your podcast.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you here with me. And I just cannot wait to talk to you about Falcon Lair. It's such a special place.
Yeah.
And well, you were so lucky you got a chance to live there, right?
Yeah, it was a very fortunate experience. I felt it was one of the most magical experiences of my life. And I've had a pretty enchanted life. So that really says something.
That's beautiful. So what did it feel like to live at such a historical place as Falcon Lair?
I think it felt very royal. That's the best word I can think of. You're driving up this beautiful hill and you're getting this amazing view of Los Angeles. And then the gates open before you and you drive through into the carport area and the view becomes even more amazing. You're looking at downtown skyline overlooking Beverly Hills, all the way to Santa Monica. And you're greeted by these beautiful trees and plants. You've got deer and owl and eagles and the most gorgeous sky. It just literally the best word I can think of is royal. It felt like a very specially chosen place on this planet.
Oh, wow. Royal. What an interesting.
Yeah, I never thought of that word to describe it until right now, but that's really what it feels like when you enter the property. And yeah, it just feels above.
Yes, above the world and with everything kind of like at your foot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a beautiful description. I love it. And how specifically did living at Falcon Lair affect the quality of your life?
Well, the word that came to mind was it made my life richer. And I mean richer in all ways. It felt like once I moved onto that property, first of all, the property felt so peaceful and secluded. So that was a huge enhancement just to be there. But it felt like, honestly, more opportunities came into my life at that time. New friendships, and also that the friendships I had deepened. Experiences opened up, like work opportunities, travel opportunities. My finances definitely got better during the period I was there. I'm always pretty good with my finances, but it seemed like there was more abundance flowing during that time. Like there was a breakthrough. And yeah, so really the quality of my life improved in all different areas. And honestly, I think any home that you feel really in tune with and really good and healthy at, your quality of life will improve. But this one kind of knocked it out of the park, as they say.
Wow, beautiful. I love the way you say how any home that you love and you feel comfortable at will improve the quality of your
Oh
life.
yeah, it could be like a tiny little apartment or like a cottage in the woods. Like if you vibrate with it, your life's going to get better.
Yes, I so agree with you. That's so true. So true. And well, Valentino and Doris Duke were people who were very spiritual in their own way. And did you have any spiritual experiences at Falcon Lair? And also, who do you think you were connected more with, Rudolph Valentino or Doris Duke?
Okay, I had quite a few spiritual, magical feeling experiences at Falcon Lair, and the first one actually happened before I moved in. I have a friend who's a really gifted psychic. She does that professionally, and I ran into her a couple of weeks before I was moving into Falcon Lair, and she said to me, "Draja, I know you love where you live right now." I was living in Malibu Lake, and she said, "But you're about to move." And the place that you're going to move into is enchanted. She's like, it is
Hmm.
magical. And I laughed because I hadn't even told her that I was going to move. And I said, well, actually, yeah, I know I'm moving and I know it's a great place, but tell me more. And she just kept saying, it's enchanted, it's magical, it's not a normal property, it's not a normal place, it's very
Hmm.
special. So that was really fun, just hearing that. Also, I felt really connected to Doris Duke's energy. I think that she and I are very similar in our love for the arts, and she was very much into dance. And so I felt very connected to her energy. I would dance a lot in the space. Also, a dancer had lived there before me, and then obviously Rudolph Valentino was a dancer. So I guess in that way I felt connected to Rudolph as well. But back to Doris, she, as an artist, I participated in projects that were literally funded by Doris Duke.
Oh,
This is a
wow.
woman that not only inherited her father's fortune, but increased his fortune through her business skill and investing skill and created a foundation that funds artists to this day. Like it's a huge growing foundation. So I was already connected to Doris through dance and through those projects. And so maybe that was why I felt her spirit so strongly there. But yeah, I definitely felt her energy. And then I do have, a few kind of, I don't know what people would call maybe ghost stories that I could tell you that are
Okay, please do. Please do. Well, tell at least one.
okay. So I definitely, both my boyfriend and I had great experiences there in terms of feeling spirits. But to get very specific, I talked to the gardener one day and I said, have you heard things? Have you seen things, like things that are a little bit supernatural while you've been here? Because he lived there, or he worked there before anyone was living there. And he'd been there for a while. And he's like, oh, no, 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 I didn't. I said, oh, okay, that's interesting because, I've had some of those experiences. And then he finally opened up and he said that every day at noon, when he would have his lunch in the garage below the living space, below the guest house, he would hear footsteps going back and forth every single day at noon when no one was living there. And that he would like go upstairs to check it out and there would be no one there. So that's one kind of fun story.
Interesting. And was he scared?
He wasn't scared necessarily. He just thought it was highly unusual and he realized it was something that, felt very supernatural to him.
Yes, I did hear that Falcon Lair is like one of the most haunted houses in Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
Yeah, I always felt very positive haunting there, very positive spirits. But one great story that I had is I was laying in bed one night and the floors are creaky because they're old floors. So when you're walking on them, you can feel the weight of somebody's body, you can hear the creak. And so I'm in bed and I hear footsteps coming to my bed, clear footsteps, and you can feel the floor. And I felt somebody standing by the bed, and I opened my eyes and I smiled because I thought, it's my boyfriend. And
Mhm.
no one was there, So I call into the other room and my boyfriend's like, "What? Yeah, I'm over here." And I was like, "Whoa, that was
What a
so
story.
cool." Yeah, that was so cool. But also a lot of the things, it was just generally a feeling of enchantment. Like we had owls there, and it seemed like, if you'd be having a late night discussion and you were talking about something deep or magical, the owls would start, or you'd be having this beautiful morning and then deers would run across, or hawks. Like, so it felt like not just supernatural, but also being in tune with nature, and that the nature spirits and the animals and the sky and the sunrise were in orchestration with you, in harmony with you. So it's very spiritual in that way.
Oh, that's beautiful. And you did not live in the main house, right? When you lived there. So the main house was no longer present, right? And you were in the guest quarters, correct?
Yeah, the guest quarters. So it's a big, like, loft-like area with lots of glass and light and windows, and all original. All it was left. I mean, obviously, some of the appliances had been updated. Not much though, but there'd been some updates, but a lot of it was just completely original from the 1920s.
Right, right. And you also mentioned to me once about the place where Rudolph Valentino used to have his breakfast or lunch at the orangery.
Yeah, it was called the Orangery, and it was a very, that area had been redone very, very beautifully. So it was the same area, but the same space, same positioning, but it had been redone so beautifully, and all the garden paths had been redone. So it was a very amazing view, first of all, but then also amazing place to meditate with clients, or to have a few special friends over for a gathering. It was just a beautiful place to eat, meditate, and spend time.
Yes, yes. And did you ever feel Rudolph Valentino's presence there?
Yeah, actually, for sure there. Because even the way that it had been redone honored the time period that he had been there in. And yeah, I did feel him there.
Beautiful, beautiful. And also, I know that the grounds of the property are very, very expansive. And
Mm.
so, did you have a chance to walk around? What was it like to walk in the garden?
Yeah, I would walk there every day. I would walk every morning and night, and it could take like 10 to 15 minutes to walk around, getting through all the paths. So you would be winding through all, like, hundreds of olive trees, and there were avocado trees. Let's see, what were lemons, lime,
Lemons, yeah.
yeah, all different kinds of plants, and just incredible views, really beautiful views of other homes across the canyon. And like I said, views of downtown. You could see Beverly Hills City Hall. You could see the ocean on a very clear day. So I would walk those every day. And at night, the gardens had been designed with a beautiful lighting pattern. So it was just lit up like Christmas lights, fairy lights, very magical. You felt like you were in your own world. It was really wonderful to just listen to music and walk. And also, I was there during lockdown in Los Angeles.
Right.
So to have 4.5 acres to play in with animals and spirits during that time felt super fortunate. Yeah, I
Yes.
definitely enjoyed that.
No wonder you felt royal. At that
Yeah.
time, that was, the ultimate royalty to have so much space and
Yeah, seriously.
beautiful. And also, there was one more remarkable thing about the grounds that was very, very unusual that I remember is the chapel in the open air, right?
Yes. That was a place I really enjoyed spending time. It was arranged very beautifully with mosaics and statues and symbols from a number of different religions from all around the world. So the feeling there was just, it was a place to connect with divine or your higher power, however that might be. So I really enjoyed time there. I would come there with my boyfriend and meditate. Occasionally, I would take a very special client there to do meditations or just to center ourselves. So that was a very centering, definitely divine space.
Wonderful. What a beautiful description you just shared with me of this space, from feeling royal when you were there, to being connected to the divine. And yet also I get the impression that this place was also so private and so secluded that on the one hand, you could see all these amazing views of the city, and yet being in your own world.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, very much. It really created a balance, helped create a balance between your spirituality and your divine connection, your imagination, your ideas, and just this very earthly sense of being connected to the city and to the people. And also because there was so much land and because of the gardens, you felt connected to the earth, like you felt connected to the soil, to the animals. So I felt like it created the best of both worlds. And I think so many people in Los Angeles are big dreamers, like visionaries. Like they come here to create their world, to share things with the world. And so they are very in their heads in a way because they have to be, but then they're also very grounded because they want to bring their ideas through to this earth and to the planet and share it with the people here. So I feel, Doris Duke was very much that way, like a grounded dreamer who created amazing things. And I feel like the property really inspired that in me as well, as to keep dreaming, keep visioning, but also to stay in balance with the earth and with your health and with your sense of privacy and being protected. And I also want to add, it was a very romantic place to be with your boyfriend.
Oh, beautiful.
The privacy and the magic really, it was a special cocoon for where a relationship of any kind, can really bloom.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. Well, I have one more question to you. What is your ideal home? Now that we talked about this amazing property and you gave this fabulous description, what is your ideal home?
Yeah.
How would you describe it?
Okay, well, I have been in love with almost every single place I have lived, and I will tell you how I select them and the qualities that I love. I love light. Like that is non-negotiable. So I love tons of natural light. It's key. I love views. I have to have a beautiful view, whether it's up high or if it's down on the earth, as long as you're seeing trees and flowers and plants, a view is really crucial to me. And then I really love textures. So I love natural wood floors or marble floors, stone. I love exposed brick. Some of the places I've lived in have had that, loft city exposed brick. I love high ceilings. That's pretty crucial to me. I haven't always had that in my places, but I really try to go for that kind of expansive feeling above your head. And then also flow, like that there is a flow through the home or through the apartment. And then I guess one of the key things is there's space to do the things you love to do, whether it's drawing, dancing, painting, working, art, being with friends, just where you really feel like the things you love to do most, you can create a space for yourself there. So, I can't say my ideal home is on the beach or in the city or in the woods, because I've had all that and I love them all. And I hope to keep experiencing more and more homes. But those are some of the key factors for me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You were so clear about the key factors of your ideal home. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Yes.
I had one friend say in my 30s, he was visiting my home and he had been to like my other apartments. And now I finally had this beautiful little home. And he's like, this looks like all your other places. Like it's got light, it's, the wood floors, it's minimally furnished. That's another thing I love. Really good bones of the property. So often I've ended up in 1920s properties just because I love the bones and the structure of those. So if the structure of the home is gorgeous, then if you have minimalist taste in furniture, it's already beautiful. So you don't need to add tons of frills and fluff to make it beautiful. So good bones.
Oh yeah, good bones are the best, and the houses from the 20s, those are the best bones you can find for sure.
Seriously.
I think so.
I know. And if people have kept them up and kept them restored, then it's ideal. Yeah.
Yes, people just used to spend much more time on building homes in the past, and that's why they're still standing. And once you keep the bones and you change, details there and there, I think it would still be like the most precious house ever.
Yeah.
That's very important. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your experiences and ideas that you just did. It was such a pleasure for me to have this interview with you. And I really, really appreciate you taking the time. And we'll see you next time.
Ooh, can I mention one more thing?
Yes.
And you can edit this out, but I just thought of one more thing that people might be really interested in. The whole area surrounding Falcon Lair is still populated by groundbreaking artists. So it's not just a history thing. There's actually like writers, musicians that are still making history and still influencing culture, are still in that area. So like, I feel like that land, the magic lives on to this day.
Yes, it inspires people still. Yes, I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Beautiful. Well, thank you for editing this, and I will keep this in the podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Masha.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed experiencing Falcon Lair and getting a feel of Beverly Hills with Draza Jansky. Please press the like button, subscribe, and share your feedback for the podcast. Your time and support are so appreciated. Next time, we are traveling all the way to the Pacific coast, and we'll explore the house where lived the daughter of the last owner of Malibu. Prepare your imagination and sunglasses. Cannot wait to see you in Malibu.
In the mood for California, feel the soul of Old Hollywood.